Hello, we're doing Chapter 1-3 for Algebra on open sentences. And basically, looking at this, we have a whole bunch of vocabulary that we're going to be doing here. So let's get right to it. We'll go to the next slide. So, when you solve equations, a mathematical statement with one or more variables is called an open sentence. So we're going to be solving equations today. A mathematical statement with one or more variables is called an open sentence. An open sentence is neither true nor false until the variables have been replaced by specific values. The process of finding a value for a variable that results in a true sentence is called solving the open sentence. Your parents probably remember this as the plug and chug method. Thus, replacement value is called the solution of the open sentence. The ones that are true, that's the solution. The ones that are false, they're not a solution. A sentence that contains an equal sign is called an equation. All right. Now, the numbers that we throw in, we substitute in, come from what we call the replacement set. A set is the collection of objects or numbers that we're trying to use. Now, each of these that comes out of the set is called the element. The ones that work, that's the solution set. Now, that's a lot of vocabulary. It might not make a lot of sense right now. We'll go to the next slide and try to show you how. Okay, so here is the open sentence. We have 6n plus 7 equals 37 right here. 6n plus 7 equals 37. Now, what we want to know is, if we have this replacement set right here, the numbers 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, if we substitute each of those in, one at a time, in place of the n, so we take this 3 and we put it in place of the n, you can see that they do it right here. And then we solve for it. We simplify it. Does it make a true statement or a false statement? Well, let's look. 6 times 3, well, that's 18. 18 plus 7 gives me 25. 25 is not equal to 37. That's why it's false. So that means 3 will not work. Well, we will try 4. 6 times 4 is 24. 24 plus 7 is 31. 31 is not equal to 37. So that's false. So the 4 won't work. All right, so now we go to the 5. 6 times 5 is 30. 30 plus 7, it's 37. 37 equals 37. I have my true answer. All right, so at that point, there's my answer. I circle it. Now, since we're doing equations, we're only going to have one number, more than likely, just one number, each of the numbers in the replacement set are called elements. The only element in this situation that works is the number 5. So that is your final answer. In this situation, we have another equation. 5 multiplied by the quantity of x plus 2 equals 40. So we substitute in. We have the replacement set, of 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Which ones will actually work? Well, obviously, they throw 3 in first. They substitute 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 times 5 is 25. 25 is not equal to 40, so we get the false. So 3 does not work. So we keep doing this down through, and all of a sudden, we find the one that is true, which happens to be 6. So our solution set is 6. Now we're going to use our order of operations again to solve for this equation. Now, in the numerator, we have 13 plus 2 times 4, divided by 3 multiplied by 5 minus 4. And that is all equal to q. The first thing we need to do is you need to make sure that you simplify on the top in the numerator, simplify on the bottom, and then divide in the end. So on the top, we say 2 times 4, and we get 8. And then we say 13 plus 8, and that gives us 21. All right, so again, we said 2 times 4, and that gave us 8. And then 8 plus 13 gives me 21. All right, on the bottom, the numerator, we said 5 minus 4. That gave me 1. 3 times 1 gives me 3. Obviously, at this point, the last thing to do is to divide. 21 divided by 3 is 7. So your final answer is 7. Okay, so now we have a solution set. We're trying to find the solution set for an inequality. Now at this point, it's going to be a little bit different than the equation. Because with an inequality, we could have no answers in the replacement set. We could have one answer, or we could have more than one answer. So we have to be careful on how we actually solve this problem. As you can see from the table in front of you, that we have a bunch of true answers. So we need to be careful about this and how we solve it. We substitute it in the same way. 7 goes in for y, so we substitute 7 in for y. Here we say 18 subtract 7. Well, that's 11. 11 is not less than 10, so it's false. Well, then we substitute in 8. 18 minus 8 is 10. Is 10 less than 10? No, that's not true, so it's false. All right, so 7 and 8 do not work. We cancel those out. Now we come to 9. We substitute it in. 18 subtract 9 is 9. 9 is less than 10, so we have our first true. Now, you think about this. The numbers are all going to get larger that we're substituting in, so that means if we subtract a larger number from 18, obviously our answers are going to be smaller. So that means all of these are going to work. So how we write that is right here. All right, the solution set for 18 subtract y is less than 10 is the numbers 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay.